What is up, everybody? Keith Mitchell here, and if you haven't heard by now, and I'm pretty sure that you have, Virtua Fighter is making a comeback of sorts. A couple days ago, Sega announced that Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown, which is a remake and enhancement of Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, which came out for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 like almost 10 years ago, is coming out for the PlayStation 4 as an exclusive title. Now, we'll get back to that in a couple minutes. However, I gotta say, as somebody who grew up with Virtua Fighter, you know, the original Virtua Fighter arcades, Virtua Fighter on the Sega Saturn, and played pretty much every version of Virtua Fighter, including, you know, Virtua Fighter Kids, Fighters Mega Mix, remember that game? Fighting Vipers 1 and 2, Last Bronx. I really enjoyed these fighting games from both Sega's internal AM2 and AM3, so I'm really excited to see Virtua Fighter 5 make a comeback. Now, I gotta say, I didn't play a whole heck of a lot of Virtua Fighter 5 because during that time, there was other fighting games out there, and I kind of started moving away from Virtua Fighter. But, again, for Virtua Fighter 1, 2, 3, and 4, I played that game religiously. You know, my Sarah, my Jackie, I love playing with those two characters. You know, they were brother and sisters. They had an interesting storyline, but let's not talk about that because that's all storyline stuff. Let's talk about what's new with Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. Now, this game is coming out again for PlayStation 4 on June 1st, 2021, which is next week. Next week, this game is coming out. There is no price, but it is coming out for those who have a PlayStation Plus subscription because it's included in the upcoming PlayStation game. So you'll be able to play this next week, and I'm excited. Now, the studio who's working on this is Sega's original AM2 team, as well as the team that works on the Yakuza series. So you guys are probably saying, hey, didn't we play Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown and Yakuza Like a Dragon? We did. And I was originally thinking that it might be that version, but it's not, because there's a whole bunch of stuff they're adding in here. They're adding updated graphics, which some of the characters look a little different. Akira looks younger. I'm not sure why he does, but he does. I also don't like how Sarah's face looks right now either. They're changing the background music, and I really hope they keep the original tunes because Virtua Fighter 5 had a banging soundtrack. They're adding in a spectator mode. They're adding in lobbies for up to 16 people. There's even a built-in tournament system, which sounds kind of exciting because that way we can organize our own fighting game tournaments of Virtua Fighter 5 without going through an external website. Now, they didn't mention anything regarding the netcode, so that's kind of interesting because if you're playing fighting games right now, you know there's kind of a big issue right now regarding netcode, and certain games don't use the rollback netcodes. Other games are getting it implemented over the course of time, and yeah, netcode's a big thing. It's a big deal depending on where you're at and how enjoyable and how long-term a fighting game can be. So Sega has not announced that yet. I'm hoping they come out and say something, and if it's not rollback netcode, hopefully it does get added. We don't know anything about it, so this is just random talk, speculation on my part. Of course, this is not the game that we all were waiting for. Virtua Fighter fans have been waiting for a new Virtua Fighter game for quite some time. We've seen Tekken go through a bunch of different versions. We've had 2 or 3 different Street Fighters and other various fighting games, Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, whatever. Virtua Fighter 5, it's still the same game that we played back in 2010 to 2012. And everybody's wondering, when is Sega going to work on a Virtua Fighter 6 or maybe a new Fighting Vipers or, you know, heaven forbid, a new Fighters Mega Mix? Because I would pay good money for Sega to come back and do another Fighters Mega Mix. That game was off the wall. It was bonkers. And if you are a fighting game fan and you've never played Fighters Mega Mix, you are missing out. But getting back to Virtua Fighter 6, honestly, I think right now this is a great move for Sega to reintroduce Virtua Fighter 5 because for them to go, hey, we haven't released a fighting game in over 12 years and to jump right into Virtua Fighter 6, that might be a disaster. Again, Street Fighter, Tekken, Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, and every other fighting game out there, Soul Calibur, people will go, oh, look, another fighting game from Sega. And there might be some people that come out and go, oh, what is this new game from Sega? Does Sega do fighting games? You know, a lot of old school players will be like, wait, somebody would actually say that? Yeah, Virtua Fighter has been gone from the spotlight for a long time, guys. I really don't think that bringing out a Virtua Fighter 6 in this day and age without some kind of introduction to their older games is a smart move, which is why I think Sega is bringing out Virtua Fighter 5 right now as a, hey, look, we have a fighting game, and it's a really good fighting game. You should check it out. And then maybe over the course of time, as people go, hey, Virtua Fighter is actually pretty cool, boom, here's Virtua Fighter 6. It is the perfect way to get this game back into the limelight and reintroduce a classic title. I mean, again, these characters, if you played Virtua Fighter back in the day, you probably liked the game due to the mechanics or the hardcore of gameplay or even the ease of use on certain characters. I mean, Virtua Fighter was a very friendly game, but it was also one of those games that if you put in the effort, you put in the time, you could be a really wicked player. I've seen a lot of Virtua Fighter matches where people are doing a reverse of a counter, and it was just like watching a ballet. It was amazing. You know, those games don't happen anymore. Those kind of fighting things don't happen anymore. I mean, okay, they do happen in Tekken and Street Fighter, but not on the scale that Virtua Fighter was. And maybe I'm being a little biased because I loved Virtua Fighter back in the day. So I'm glad to see that Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown is actually a thing. I'm not too happy that this is exclusive to the PlayStation because Virtua Fighter came out for both Xbox and PlayStation. I'm not sure what exactly is going on. And I'm also upset that it's not coming out for PC because Sega has been doing a great job of bringing out their games out for the PC as well the last couple of years. So for this to be a PlayStation exclusive right now, I'm kind of scratching my head. I don't understand why Sega is doing this, but I'm pretty sure they have an idea of what they're doing or a plan. It could have something to do with the fact that, you know, Sony has investment in Evo, and maybe we'll see Virtua Fighter 5 and Evo Online. I mean, I have no idea what's happening here. Again, this is all just speculation on my part, but I am very happy to see that Virtua Fighter 5 is making a comeback. It'll be out again next week, June 1st, for PlayStation Plus subscribers. You better download this game next week, and it will be on PlayStation Plus, as I understand, for June and July, and then it also will make its way over to PlayStation Now. I really don't care about PlayStation Now, but I will be playing this game. The only downside to this is they haven't given this game an actual price that I'm aware of. We don't know how much this game costs standalone. I would imagine it'd be $20. I can't imagine it being any more than $20, but we'll have to wait and see. Either way, guys, Virtua Fighter is back. I can't wait to play it. I hope to see you guys online. I hope the system doesn't suck. I hope it has rollback netcode. And yeah, I can't wait to play this game again. I think I said that, but once again, everybody, if you enjoyed our content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.